All right, man. So congratulations. You signed with the Atlanta Falcons. You know, obviously Cincinnati guy, you were a Bengal guy for a while, but just
Mhm.
talk about going to Atlanta and what you're looking forward to being with the Falcons.
Yeah, I think it's just another opportunity to, raise the standard, of a football team in the city that I think that is well deserved of, to have, some good football. You got Georgia right up the street, and then you got, Atlanta Falcons that haven't, really produced since 2015, since, Matt Ryan and, Julio and those guys were there. So just excited to be a part of, kind of the rebuild phase, similar to Cincinnati. And like I said, bring some championships and do some work in the community of the great Atlanta.
We're gonna get to that community thing in a second, but I gotta ask you, man, you're one of the best safeties in football. So I gotta ask you, if you did the Mount Rushmore, four safeties, you could do all time, or you know what, let's make it fun.
Yeah.
Let's do today in NFL. You should definitely include
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. For
But if
sure.
you're gonna put four safeties on the Mount Rushmore for today's NFL, who are the four? Including
Yeah.
and you're one of the four.
Yeah, man. I'm a little biased. The safeties that came out in my group in 2018, Derwin James, Mika Fitzpatrick. You got me.
It's
That's
three.
three of us right there. So
Wow.
I always kind of say that 2018 class is always the best. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stick with us three
Yeah, I need one more.
at the very top. And you can always go uh, Honey Badger. I mean, he's been doing it for years, 10 plus years, all decade team. He's very versatile as far as covering, slots or blitzing or interceptions, whatever it is. I think he's reached kind of like the highest of the high as far as active safeties right now.
Wow. I forgot 2018 was
Yeah,
crazy. It's a
yeah,
crazy year, man.
yep,
Okay, so I mean, obviously, man, the goal is to obviously get to the Super Bowl, get Atlanta to that promised land, man. That division. I mean, you're gonna be facing some.
yeah.
You were already facing some good receivers out there, and where you at in the AFC North. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, and now you're in the South. You got to deal with those Saints,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And then you got to deal with those. What matchup are you excited for the most?
Yeah, I think the biggest matchup I'm excited for is the Saints.
Yeah.
You think about the history, I think, in between those two teams is probably the biggest thing. And then also in Tampa, I'm a Florida type of guy. I like to be in Florida, so playing in the indoor stadium for
Hmm.
about 10 games out of every year, you're gonna play in the indoor for about 9 games. So I think that helps for sure.
So I got to ask you this, man. Just single moms initiative.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge deal. Obviously, you talk about that life with your life growing up and different things. Can
Hmm.
you talk about what that means to you and the importance of that foundation and what you're doing with that?
Yeah, it's just something that coming into the league, I always wanted to give back to my community wherever I was. Just something that always touched my heart that I was super passionate about, and being able to do it with my mom, who was a single mom that raised me and my siblings, showed me the work ethic, how to work hard for things that you want. I think that's something that's not very common now. I think a lot of folks, nowadays kind of push away from when things get hard. And I think my mom, when things were good, when things were bad, she always was the same person. She always kind of stayed very level headed throughout that. And like I said, just being able to have that impact with her in a field where, a lot of us athletes, come from a single mom type of home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would touch home for a lot of people, not just for myself, but for my peers and the community that I'm in.
Love it. So today we're at the Ross Symposium for Athletes, man.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, shout out to Suge Mike, we can call him Suge Mike, but shout out to Mike, man, in this brand that he's
Yep.
doing with players. Can you talk about that real quick and the importance of, financial literacy and different things like that?
Yeah. Like I said, it kind of touches base with my Single Moms Foundation. Just learning, just continue to learn things that are not normal for us. I think that having a great team like Rise in my corner, being able to host events like this. You talk about me being an NBA fan. You got Baron Davis up there talking about some of his business adventures that he's had. Other former players, former athletes from basketball, baseball, football. Everybody kind of goes through that experience of being a professional athlete and then making that transition on to a normal life. And I think it's key that you have those conversations, be in those type of rooms to get your mind thinking a little bit as well. Even though your focus should be you know, whatever sports you are, or whatever that's generating that money for you. But you also have to think about the afterlife, and being able to hear from, you know, qualified people definitely helps you, you know, spark some ideas for yourself, and maybe even take some quick notes or, you know, comments back to, you know, some of my best friends that, you know, that play basketball and still trying to make that transition back at home. So it's definitely a blessing to be able to be here here in Dallas with such an amazing group.
Love it. A few more questions, man. So, gotta ask you this, man. I'm a gamer, man. I play a lot of Madden. The first time you saw yourself on Madden, probably obviously rookie year.
Yeah.
What did you think, man? Because I'm pretty sure growing up, he was creating himself, putting himself on the game.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think that was one of the real surreal moments. You know, I got nephews, and I remember always being a 7, 8-year-old, like, hey man, let's go play Madden.
Yeah.
And then for them to have my face on there and see my nephews and see how they act, they want me to be on every team. So they ship me over to whatever team they want to play on. That's who they trade me onto the roster. It's just something that, you know, you don't really think about as much as you're in it. But once we go back and, you know, I have my son want to play Madden one day, he'll be able to go back and, hey, that's my dad right there.
Yeah.
Then I think the coolest part was having a star underneath your name and stuff like that on the Madden. You got the ball.
You're a cheat code. You're a cheat code.
Yeah, you
which
know,
is well deserved.
So that's the, you know, makes it real, make it feel real for you, and not just, it's not good for you. It's good for your family members and stuff, for the legacy of our family. My last name being on that game stands for a lot, not just for me, but for all my family members that made, you know, a lot of sacrifices for me to be where I'm at today. They're able to say that their grandson, their nephew, or whoever it is on a game, and I'm able to, you know, have that impact on their lives, whether that's financial or just showing my face and going back home. So it's a blessing for sure.
Love it. Last question, man. So I do this question with the baseball players, right? I make them build non-teammates, build the perfect, like, whatever unit they're a part of. So let's say if you build the perfect secondary, I need 2 corners, you're one of the safeties, we need another safety.
Yep.
In NFL right now, if you built the perfect secondary, non-teammates, who are your 2 corners?
I'm gonna go with Jalen Ramsey. You gotta go with Jalen Ramsey, you gotta go Xavier and Howard.
That is a nasty 2, okay.
I like those 2 because I think they both play physical ball. They both can match up man to man,
and they get to the ball.
And then obviously at safety, you know, I gotta pick myself.
Okay, yeah. Who's the other safety?
I'll probably have to go Derwin James. You know, just
wow, that's a big secondary.
Yeah,
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? What we can bring to each other's game, I think, a very special group. And it's a bunch of athletes, first type of guys as well. So that's my agency. It's family ties, so I got to always rock with those guys as well.
Well, man, Jessie, man, congratulations on everything, man. Good luck with the Falcons. You know, I'm happy for you, man, because this is a big deal for you, man, and your family in the future for your family, man. So congratulations right there.
Sir.
We'll be talking again soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.